Okay, I somehow made it to 100 cards. I don't have to worry about the... Well, you really want all your lands to be forests. Kind of like a... It's kind of important. Alright, we're just going to send it. We're just going to send it. That's what I'm doing. It's Rofellos, but all commons and uncommons. Just to see how stupid this card is. I'm actually kind of surprised at the lack of crazy uncommons, but it might not matter when you're twice as far ahead as your opponent. So let's find out. I could be wrong, though. I did say Rofellos can win with just draft uncommons because it's so much mana your opponent can't do anything. But after having put this together, I might not be sure about that. Let's find out. What is this? This is that weird thing. Okay. Well, that's not where you want to see Lin or Elves, now is it? We can also count on one hand how many times I've actually untapped with Rofellos. Like, I can literally count on one hand how many times it's happened today. Yep. I guess I can swing. Tireless Treasure. Okay, they didn't do anything, so no Rofellos. Or rather, it wouldn't be a good idea. Killing the Provisioner after it made a treasure feels kind of bad. You can't really stop it, though. That means I cannot cast... Yeah. I will turn the treasure into a land here. Like it makes the most sense to me. Commander is Rofellos. Alright, can we have nothing left up? Please, that'd be great. Okay. Play this? And I think Rofellos is less important than Diamond Weapon. So I'll give Diamond Weapon Shroud. And they can't really do anything about it, right? It stops their commander completely. And I don't think Rofellos matters. Oh, never mind. This doesn't have Vigilance. Never mind. I thought it had Vigilance. Maybe I didn't want to swing with it. Well, if it's a back and forth, I'm not sure it's favoring my opponent long term. I don't know. They could have crazy stuff in their hand, though. It's like the first time I've ever been hit by this. But you see the kind of deck I'm playing, what it takes for this to hit you. Yeah, I don't know if just chilling is worth it. I don't know. All right. Palaka Worm is lethal, so there's that. I should play this first regardless and say congratulations if you have something. And then play you. They didn't have anything last turn, so... They have to block it? Pretty sure they do. Yeah. Okay. All right, we did it. We did it. Yeah. They cast their commander twice. They had a toxic deluge. They could cast their commander in the same turn they did that. They had a dark ritual. This is kind of insane to beat. This is a fatal push on a Rofellos too. What are you doing? Is it Cameo's protection? What is it? Alright, let's play you. Do that. And now we just kind of hope we don't die. It's not easy, really, at all to kill someone on turn 3. But they were on the play, so... I don't have a great follow-up, though. They can just recast theirs. When I have to interact with my opponent's commander and I can't, it looks not great for us. Like, I can blow it up once, and then I don't know what to do. Yeah, this is commons and uncommons. Which wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I thought it would be better. I'm not going to lie. I thought it would be better. All right, they're probably doing math here. So they go fetch land, Haro, into that, into a land. Could be 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's the fetch land. First there is, and then 4, and then 8. Okay. Oh. I don't think I'm blocking this. Maybe I am. Maybe that does do something. I'd improve my breakpoints in the future. But probably not. Probably not. I'm not going to crack the lander token, because giving Bailoff haste later seems better than giving 2 damage this turn. It's just more damage later. Alright, well, I mean, they can't give Tifa haste, and I have a pretty good turn next turn, I think. Well, they can give it haste, but just not in a, you know, a way that they would like to give it haste. Is that oh, I have to tap Rofellos, though? That's fine. That's fine. Then play you. And I guess post-combat we'll see how it pans out. I can't give trample. Can we not have protection indestructible, please, for once in our lives? Of course not. 7, 11, 12, 13. Ugh. I guess I'm just playing this. I don't know how I don't play that, but I'm probably just dead now, so cool. Well, can't say I didn't try. Think I'm dead on board from the cards I know about. I think my opponent may have missed lethal. Maybe? I think they just missed lethal there. Maybe not. Uh, 16, take... Still there. Okay, it feels as though they missed lethal, but I guess they didn't have it? Maybe they just didn't have it. Wow, that's hilarious. Alright, I think I have had a very strong gauge of what this is capable of, having just played a bunch of it, and I would just like to talk about it. Then we'll just play, I'm going to play a different deck after this. I'm not going to stop here, but I'll just talk about this and move on. This is, I was humbled today. I thought Rofellos could just win with draft commons and uncommons because the card is so obscenely powerful. But if we don't factor in the games where my opponents had 26 removal spells, and I could count on one hand how many times I actually untapped with Rofellos, right? That's how this card single-handedly just demands every deck has 1 and 2 mana removal spells. Like we saw a Spell Snare today. I mean, I had a spiel about Spell Snare. I don't think it's in the top like 150 mono blue cards you play, but maybe it is now because Rofellos. But this, whenever I actually untapped with it and had something to do, that thing I was doing sometimes didn't get there. So, well, actually a fair amount of times did not get there. So I did accommodate it more. Like, this is way better than where it started, like a lot better than where it started, but still, it did kind of feel like I needed more than what I had going on here. Maybe there's an uncommon and common only combo that I'm not aware of that kind of, you know, just doesn't need any rares or something. But apart from that, when you do untap with it, I would say some of these things were crazy. Like Godpharaoh statue on turn, what is it, 3? Yeah, a turn 3 Godpharaoh statue. You probably just win, right? Because your opponent's so utterly denied everything that this just kind of stops everything ever, and then you can do whatever you want behind it. A fast acidic slime is lights out. A really fast, what is it, meteor golem on a crucial card can make your opponent give up. Drawing a bunch with disciple didn't end up happening, but it could have. There were windows. But the main thing, and I think it doesn't matter if you're all rares or not. The main thing is untapping with this, right? So you keep casting it and you just keep asking the question, and eventually the question is going to be, no, I can't do anything about it. And then you untap with it, and whatever you do is probably just too much. And I would say a lot of this does kind of feel like it would be too much in the average game. I just saw a crap ton of removal, which you have to. You have to. That's really the big thing. You have to kill it. You have to kill it. So it was kind of hard to untap with it and sort of prove the point that you can kill anybody with just uncommon threats and not any like Ulamog stuff. I just didn't really get to untap with it. That's just where this is. This is a reason it's banned in EDH. You know, your opponents aren't going to be playing uncommons only there, especially. And then you untap with Rofellos. There are a lot of games in EDH, if this wasn't banned, having played, like, I've played this, not on paper, but, like, I've made EDH decks with this, even though it was banned, just to see. And there are so many ways you can just win right when you untap with it. That's not really the case here. You don't have, like, some crazy nonsense that, you know, older sets that aren't in Arena have, but still, like, even even in arena, like this is absolutely bonkers. It seems like the deck weight thing is just non-existent. I saw normal commanders all day with this. I didn't see anything. No, I did see one. I saw a Nafri player who completely trampled me with a bunch of zombies. so that happens, but on average, it seemed like it wasn't even in a lower bracket with an entire deck of commons and uncommons only. So that it is what it is on that regard. But yeah, I was humbled. I guess this doesn't just auto win when it untaps with commons and uncommons. It did take a little bit more effort than that. But after I had changed it, I did start to actually win. So matchmaking has been messed up for 2 weeks. Doesn't seem like a recent thing, but actually, you know what? I was going to say something about that. It feels like the bracket system or the what you play against is actually kind of tied to how long you're in the queue. If you like your queue time is a minute, then you just the search parameters broaden and then it pits you against higher tier commanders because you can't find anyone within your window after a minute. And the queue times have been longer in the past 2-3-ish weeks. I'm not going to say it's because of Ninja Turtles. No one wants to play the game, but that could be why. I've played this since it came out and I haven't stopped Magic Arena, and the queue times are at their longest of all time. So it could be because no one wants to play with Ninja Turtles. At least that's my feelies, but I don't actually objectively know why. But it's not probably likely. So I did see. No, I didn't actually see anything like Ragavan or anything like that. But yeah, so because of that one thing, because of that singular thing, you just shouldn't play this. You just play a normal Rofellos list because that one thing. You are not cheesing people. Like for some reason, Proft can just cheese other brackets instead of playing Teferi. I don't know why. It just can. But for some reason, Rofellos cannot do that. It can't get into a lower bracket. And you know what? I don't feel bad at all because I don't like this card. So if you can't cheese people with it, more power to you. I mean that you gotta play the honest way of doing it. But yeah, that's that. All right, I'm gonna play something else now. 2-mana removal might be where we want to go at some point. For now, let's try this. All right. We're just gonna start here. I kind of like what is happening here. It's Hei Bai again. One of my favorite commanders. I love it. It's kind of weird. I see a lot of comments that people think it's like the most oppressive, like nonsensical thing ever. I don't think it is. I said it when it first came out, and it still kind of feels that way. That it is extremely honest outside of Sanctum specifically. Other than this card, when it hits this, it does not feel honest at all. It feels kind of like average, like exactly where the power level should be in this format, in my opinion. It doesn't do anything crazy. It does attack you at an enchantment angle, and dealing with enchantments is a lot harder than dealing with creatures. So it does have that advantage. But it just doesn't feel like this is insanely powerful. It feels like kind of pretty honest, right? There's other things that are a lot more egregious than this that it can play against. Not just like Ragavan, Ajani, Scythus. When you're playing, middle of the pack stuff, there's Rofellos that really just doesn't care at all about what Hei Bai is doing most of the time because it doesn't care what anyone's doing. But I'm gonna try it again in the way I was talking about before, which is just a few shrines, which are all the card draw shrines. So it's gonna be like a Teferi. You play it, and then you just draw a card every turn, right? I don't care to play it again or flicker it or whatever. I just hit one of these, and I'm drawing 2 cards a turn. If I hit this one, then it can find these, and I don't have to worry about, like, say, casting this twice to get both of these. But ideally, you don't even need both, because drawing 2 cards a turn, I know this one discards, it's not really a big deal. Drawing 2 cards a turn is very good, especially in a deck that's all control nonsense with more or less explosive pseudo combo finishers like Expropriate or Emergent Ultimatum with anything ever, you're going to find a way to win. I have Planeswalkers. They can ultimate. They're problematic. You can drown your opponent so much value that you can just kill them with a 4/4. So this is another way of playing it, and I'm going to do that. 5-color mythic rare nonsense pile. I'm trying Spell Snare. Someone says it's good, more gooder than I deem it, but I'm gonna try it. It's gonna get someone good. Like a Rofellos player. So apart from that, it's just 5-color control, really. Mostly Sultai with some white and red cards splashed in here. Sarkhan, I just like. A huge fan of this card, so it is in here. I love that card. The Talismans, I see a lot in Hei Bai. I'm going to try some here. Normally, Hei Bai is pretty close to just mono green, and there's just a lot of really good green ramp spells to do instead of Talismans, in my opinion, even on just 2 mana. But we're not super mono green like every other Hei Bai player usually is. So it's looking like that. Let's see what happens. This is the Evoke one. I haven't actually played the Flip Ashling that like flips into a 2-mana thingy, whatever it's called. I have Fatal Push, and then I don't got much else. So I'm gonna not play that. Okay, I can get rid of Kolaghan's Command here and not feel bad. Kolaghan's Command probably not. Well, I mean, it's probably bound to do something. Let's play. Opponent is furious. Something got him. Let's do Breeding Pool and Rampant Growth with Swamp. I don't think my opponent likes Gemstone Cavern. Who knows? Oh, it's a Talisman. Alright, I kind of hope they have Mana Tithe, because that would be really fun. Let's get Temple Garden. Mana Tithe? Chromatic Lantern. Tend to the Kiln. Okay. Alright. Let's draw and get rid of Mana Rock. Actually, it helps me a lot. I don't think I need the Sweeper. I don't think I need the Sweeper here. Alright. Do I have Emergent next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of these lands help tap to cast this. Solitude. Okay. Or I wouldn't counter that if I could. They did just straight up hardcast it. Get rid of you. Alright, I think this lets me do it. It does. Alright, I probably just win. Expropriate. Jace. No, that doesn't make sense. Let's just do that. Take 2 extra turns. I could have slid Jace in there, but this is fine as well. They can't give me Expropriate, so. Oh, I did have Jace. I'm sorry. I think I meant to click another extra turn and gave myself Jace. That's funny. Alright, well now I have Jace instead. It's about the same, honestly. It's about the same. Not gonna lie. So I can take another extra turn. I don't really need to, though. Ooh, my foot fell asleep. Yikes. Yeah, I don't really need to. I can just play Hei Bai. I can just pass. Okay. Yeah, I think Jace was just better than an extra turn, so I'm glad I clicked that. It is not uncounterable. Yeah, okay, I'm just going to put Expropriate on top of my deck and Ultimate Jace. Okay, I just kind of totally stonewalled my opponent at on all angles. Yep. I almost want to make Hei Bai on paper. I like this commander. I like the just the shrine ideas. Let's get the Sultai one. Blue, black. No, let's get that one. Abigail is kind of crazy. I haven't seen Abigail ever. Does it have one of the stupid cards? Okay, it doesn't have one of the stupid cards, at least not early. I'm gonna cast Hei Bai. Okay. I feel like you're not targeting. Okay, Bitter Blossom. They get lost my shrine. Let's do this. I don't care about cut down currently. Let's cast this on the swamp, turn it into a green black. Maybe double green. No, green blue is fine, I guess. And that. Do this. Damnation. Yeah, sure, I'll keep damnation. Or I'll threaten the existence of damnation. I can shuffle it away if I want. I'm not gonna stifle the... Get... Hollowed Fountain? No, it's gotta be this. Because I have that. Alright. I had 5 lands that helped me with Emergent Ultimatum. They did answer my shrine. I'm gonna assume they blitz mulliganed just for a 1-drop, and that doesn't bode too well here, I feel. Buena. No? Just shut down your mulligan to whatever? Yeah, get lost. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. You gotta do something, you know? You gotta do something. So let's play this and name blue. Wait, blue, white. Yeah, I think I should name blue or black. Let's just do black. Black is fine. I will wash away my opponent's commander, even though they can, like... Oh. What? How do you... Wow. Really? I don't know if I agree with this. Let's, Toxic for 3. I don't know if I would have done that. Let's play Jace. I'm not going to deny them the chance of a land. I'm just going to do this. Let's put you and you back. Also, I found Force Spike, which is absolutely devastating if they do play a land. 6. Nah, I don't think anything's toxic. Actually, maybe Rofellos. Maybe Rofellos is a bit toxic. But the 5-color good stuff piles, there's nothing you can do. If it isn't Hei Bai, like if Hei Bai isn't the 5-color degen thing, then there'll just be another one that is. There'll always be a 5-color, like, stupid thing in the format on all brackets. Nothing we can do. So I have blue-green. Let's just get that one. Let's just get that one. And let's cast you. I guess another blue one. Blue and something. I guess Esper's fine. Yeah. I do have a fetch land. I can get another one. I'm not going to respect Winter Moon. Especially if my opponent played Leah. I don't think that matters what the next one is. Let's get the Sultan. Yeah, all the Death Touchers. Are they toxic? We can just play Jace. It is fairly just straight up left alone here. So maybe I can just play Jace. It does feel like they're not interacting with it at all. I could even just bounce this. No, I don't want to do that. Force Spike has value, but there's better cards I can draw, I think. Actually, even another land would have been good, because I do have Exploration in play. I think they have to deal with Jace, and I'm not sure how they do that. Oh, go figure. Trying to say words. Silly me. They do not swing with Delighted Halfling. Fascinating. I'm not going to deal with Delighted Halfling. Let's put back you, and I really... Yeah. Okay. Can't forget I have Exploration. I don't want to shuffle this away, but I could. It's not like I can counter Yarok. Alright, they're over it. I mean, you know, they're over it. Even if they, I mean, maybe they didn't have a land, but if they cast Yarok, I don't really care. I can just unsummon it. Oh. Let's play nothing. Jock Pass could be scary. Opponent respects nothing. I love it. Oh wait, no, that can't be countered. Never mind. That actually is respecting it. I can't counter that. Do you? All right, random shrine, go. Hey, we got Sanctum of I win the game. It's another player with can't be countered. Search library. I will get rid of a talisman. Play a land, play talisman, play this. You and pass? I don't think this game is about damage. I will not swing. I think they're trying to kill me. I'm not trying to kill them. As far as I'm aware, it's only Moon Mist that flips this. As far as I'm aware. I think they're just going to cast... No, they don't cast it. So that is kind of annoying. But certainly beatable. Decline, right? Wait, why do I care? Why do I care about losing 4 life? Oh, it's only discard 1, right? So we play you, and then Supreme Actually, we can play this one instead. Yeah, we can play that one instead. Then pass. Good. Expected, sure. Not ideal. Oh yes. Yes. It's so gross. Oh, it's so gross. Get rid of you. You. That. Oh, I have a stop there. Discard, blow up your treasure token. It's a 2-minute spell. Oh, no. I mean, I have cardnitions here, so we're just chilling. I keep thinking I have to discard 2 cards. I don't know why I keep thinking that. I'm doing that. I could just pull up the other the other treasure token, which probably has merit here. I might as well, right? Why not? Then just pass. Just undoes their thing they just played, so. Okay, they play another one. Sure. Find a land. Oh. I mean, I've drawn... I've seen almost half of my deck already. Not looking great for the opponent here, but I don't know. They could do something. Rim Tutor. I can't do anything about that. What does that find? It's definitely not Moon Mist, so I don't really know. But hopefully I can do something about it. Currently doesn't feel like I can. Assuming they didn't grab like a scary legendary or something. Okay, there's Jace. Get rid of you. Play land. I think I will play Jace. And then just brainstorm. Heal. Do that. That. Then pass. I'm not going to cast Ujin, so yeah. Discard 4. One, 2, 3. Someone's telling me I don't need Ujin, but I might. So let's keep it. 4. I discarded 3 board wipes just now. Distortion? Oh, if they play Thought Distortion, that would be great. You know what's funny? I can just draw 7 cards next turn and probably still be fine. Golos. Okay, no, I'm not going to let you. Golos probably finds Cavern of Souls? No, I'm not going to let you have that either. Not that that would work. I have swords anyways. You have swords anyways. Alright. I'll draw. I'm hard pressed to like not simply just keep drawing. We can start plussing now though. I don't want to deck out. You can... Wait a minute. Silence is problematic. Let's not let you... Yeah, you're not... Play you. Can make a 4/4. Play that. Play this. Blue. And pass. So now I can stop drawing with the smaller one. They found a cavern. They just top-decked Cavern of Souls. Okay, they have a 4/4. I guess I'll just swords it. But they can just cast it again. Maybe swordsing was wrong because Ujin could have just dealt with it. I don't necessarily have to play Ujin though. Alright, I'm going to decline this shrine. That, do this. This. Plus. Brainstorm. Oh no, you can concede whenever you like. These two. That. And... oh yeah, I had a plus here. Forgot. One is holding you hostage. Let's swing. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm playing fairly quickly, all things considered. Airbender's Ascension? Okay. Games about that. Ragavan? Sure. Kill it. Must have been their draw for the turn. Yeah, I can play Hei Bai when the time is right, which I think is now. Yeah, no, I think I played that. I don't think I played Hei Bai too slow. This is probably the exact turn in which I'm interested in genuinely casting. I think they're just dead. They're just dead. Because I have 2 extra turns, right? I can stop plussing the Sarkon too. I don't need to, and it's not going to get to another minus anyways. Although, I mean, 4 is kind of valuable. It is valuable. Another 4/4 here. Yeah, maybe I do that. Oh, I'll take that. Okay. It would be a Christmas miracle if my opponent won this. But I do got to be careful and not deck out. Yeah, what if we just didn't plus these 2 other Planeswalkers? I really don't think I need them. I'm drowning in value that can't really be dealt with, so... and there's just no reason to deck out. Surprised I did not concede. But hey, we just get to do it now. We get to do the thing. They didn't concede. Alright, I found lethal. I can just take an extra turn and kill him. Alright, yeah. I don't know. They could have conceded 10 years ago. I'm not sure what they were trying to do. I'm not going to... it's extremely unlikely for this deck to deck out, but this is the exact reason why maybe something like One Ring Paradox Engine is not an ideal combo in this deck. I'm seeing all these green decks that are not Rofellos. Oof. Alright, not the... You don't want this. I'll say that. you don't want both of these. I'll play Burgeoning. I'll play Burgeoning. They're like kind of the same, so. Oh, okay. All right. Gotta think about that. Another green deck that isn't Rofellos. Wow. This is maybe really good against them. Yorvo. See what other things they're interested in doing. Other than like. So let's get this one. No, I need. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'll play that. I can just play Hei Bai. It is like a thing in play that blocks and does stuff. Alright, there's that. Figure. Why play Rofellos when you can just draw it all the time? I'm going to play this. This is a Yorvo deck, so I don't think Rofellos is just suddenly winning when they untap with it. It's probably playing creatures, which we are more or less prepared to deal with. Expecting more elves there, but okay. Yeah, we're more or less prepared for a Rofellos when it looks like this. Surprised they traded. I feel like you know what I'm trying to do, so maybe trading there is not the best idea. I don't know. I'll get the greedy one here, so I can overload this. Probably just win. Oh, they didn't concede. But it's not looking great. Okay. Alright. Okay. That's interesting. But I do have a wall of everything ever at this point. Okay. My opponent has the most uphill battle conceivable. I don't think Spell Snare is doing anything here. Play that. Let's play this. Pass. You cast a permanent for your hand and value. I like this card. Alright, yeah. I don't know. This doesn't seem like the kind of deck that recovers from the first board wipe. You. Priests of Katrina. Well, in there, Hei Bai. Time it is. It is shrine time. We got the good one. No one's automatically conceded yet to Sanctum of All. Sometimes I do that if I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it, of course. All right, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It's a way to undo all that. I don't need to draw into anything this turn, so I'll just play the greedy one. Let's get lanes and deal with this so I don't lose to it. Is a lot of mana. I don't believe there's anything other than an extra turn to grab, which does draw a lot of cards here, but I don't think it's necessary. No, don't you dare. Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. That is okay. I'll survive what they just did. Not gonna tutor. I mean, the original idea was to just simply draw one card a turn with my shrines, and I have done way more than that on average so far, so I think we're just super chilling. Doesn't seem like a spot to interact. They do not interact. I'm not going to recast Sanctum. I can't say I need it. Nor do I need to cast Hei Bai. I do not have a counter spell. But I think we're still okay. This doesn't make fairy, or yeah, it just makes bugs. Buggo boys, yeah. Okay. Right. Wow, they do nothing? Beautiful. Beautiful. I wonder if we could slide Brainstorm in here. I don't have it in here. I don't have Brainstorm, so there's not a lot of reasons to hold these fetch lands, and Triomes are reasonable to just get out of my deck. I could just cast Sanctum and just not care if they counter it. Could do that. Is there anything to do after that if it doesn't work out? I don't have another untapped red source. What if I just cast you? What if I just did nothing? What if I didn't do it? My opponent didn't do anything. I don't care about Brazen Borrower. Like, yeah, what if I just didn't do anything? My opponent literally didn't do anything. Why am I button this? This is some damage-based pressure. I mean, it's... well, the numbers are climbing. I will probably interact with Brazen Borrower just for the sake of damage. Start 2 damage. So yeah. Just to, like, do something. But this doesn't feel like the scariest card. I don't think I would make a move on this card here. Unless you value this 3-1 higher than I do. Yeah, they don't. They have Toxic Deluge? Alright, another Sultai Elf deck with a pay life to blow up their own board. Love to see it. Let's do this. Okay, what's this? Stifle? Well, I mean, you can't Tails in an Arid Mesa, so I don't know what this is. What is this? 4 mana. What? Wang Shi Tong. Oh, sure. I'll towards that. So now I can just Mystical Tutor for a sweeper? And my opponent doesn't have anything? Is that a good idea? They draw a card off of Long Siege Time. Maybe that isn't a good idea. I have to deal with this eventually. Alright, I'll just draw. That was a very disgusting 2 cards. Like, insanely disgusting. You probably have to say money. I don't think you can say time here. Yeah, you have to say money. Okay, well, I'm the one with the 4/4 now. I think I'm going to cast my commander. Yeah, we're going to cast our commander here. Get that. And pass. They played a fetch land. Can't really use it yet. Have I seen any elves? Okay, I've seen 1 elf and a fairy so far. Eventually they're going to have to actually play elves and fairies. Sure. They kill their own Wang Shi Tong. Ponder. That's another card we could play that we're not playing. I do like Ponder. Maybe I draw enough off of Hei Bai that I don't need Ponder. Outpocking the pox, yeah. They really need to change how Ponder works, because you don't know if they shuffle or not unless you have an audio cue. Not an audio cue. Okay. Probably makes sense, actually. I don't know what I'm going to Mystical Tutor for, but I'd love for my opponent to try to interact with it. Do not interact with it. I'm going to get Archmage's Charm. I'm not going to get an extra turn effect. I'm just going to grab Archmage's Charm. Oh yeah, I'm drawing like a million cards. I forgot. I forgot. I'm drawing like 5 cards a turn without Sanctum in play. Okay, well, I can get rid of Sanctum. I think I will. No, I can get rid of Talisman. Sanctum could actually do something at some point, maybe, sorta. Let's play Eugene and stop the 1/1 spam. And I don't care to defend Ugin. Okay, they don't have an answer to it on the stack. Draw more cards, undo the life loss. I drew a land for Burgeoning, too. We can swing. I do not care at all about these 1/1s. Swinging at Ugin or my face. Okay. This is a 3-turn clock that will eventually have to be blocked. No Wang Shi Tong on our end. They know about a counterspell. There's no Cavern. They got an untapped land. What? Lenalendra Spaghetti? What does that do? Oh, I don't like that. Kona, you have done a good job at staying in this game. I'm not gonna... You have done a good job at staying in this game. I think they've played very well, but they're falling behind every turn. Very fast. Very, very fast. Okay, I don't think there's anything this could steal that's a problem. And also, they don't have another thing to do with it anyways. Okay, I'm going to kill this now, so they can't just cast a 2-drop. Excuse me. That works out. I don't have another colorless card for Ugin. They don't even swing at Ugin. I don't think 3 loyalty matters. Yeah, I'd probably go phase 2. Which also probably doesn't matter. Alright, I found a colorless card. That's probably lights out. Let's get rid of... I almost discarded the colorless card. I almost discarded it. Oh, that's funny. They can recast it. I did kind of give them something to do. But yeah, I mean, it's the only fairy/elf in play, and they can't really steal any relevant 1-mana cards. Let's find out. Okay. Alright. They can't utilize Blighting at all against me, which is really nice, but it's still a green deck with a bunch of 1-mana elves. I don't have a board wipe. Oh, well, that's not what I expected. I think you got to take Jace here. Maybe this, actually. This is reasonable. But I'm probably going to take Jace if I were my opponent. And just play around the memory lapse. What? What? Huh? Okay, I'm not doing that. That's nope. That's not what I'm doing. Okay. That is not what I would do. Maybe they wanted to just color screw me? I guess. Oh. But yeah. Huh. Well, I would say they probably conceded because I hit this, but little do they know that there's only 2 card draw shrines. Which, I mean, so far that hasn't mattered anyways. The 2 card draw shrines have been good enough. So it is really good, but still, if it was just a card draw shrine, we're chilling. Yeah, that duress is odd. It must have been, okay, they must have just saw my hand and were like, I can't really beat this, so I'll take the blue source and just hope you can't cast them. That might be what happened. This is the pay for Urion trigger? Yeah, the Soul Herder, except you have to pay for it. This hand is highly dubious. Highly dubious hand, but you know what? Let's play you. I think I should force spike that. Especially with the village in play. I think I should force spike this. I think that's a good use of my resources. Alright, apparently it was. Apparently it actually was. It was a good use of my resources. And I had a lot of ways to still stay alive in my deck if I drew them. Yet another uncounterable wall of stuff. I have 2 white. Let's get a black. Another wall of uncounterable herp derp. It's like you have too many counterspells in your deck, you can't do anything. My opponent only has 2 colorless mana, so they need to cast legendaries or humans. They don't have any mana. And I can't imagine there's a boatload of super spooky humans they're going to cast, so... Okay, yeah. Yeah, these don't work too nicely with each other. Let's do... Island? Cast my commander. They chose Halfling? Why'd they choose Halfling? Okay. Chose Halfling. Yeah, okay. Huh. Sure. Why did they do that? Just to play this? They did it... But this is forever colorless now. Just to cavern... They just converted the cavern into a mana dork? Yeah, that doesn't... I don't know if I... That seems weird. That seems a bit odd. Interesting. Yeah, they didn't have green on turn 1, but still, though, like... The Delighted Halfling doesn't really help you, does it? Maybe it does. I'm going to assume Force Spike is past its heyday. And I don't think there's a reason to do anything at all. So I'll just chill. Like, I don't think I have to do anything. There's no reason to cast one of these now. I'm just, like, chilling. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess, but it just made the next turn awkward anyways. I don't know, I'm not convinced that's what I would do. Especially how you can only cast legendaries and humans. Nothing else can be cast. Alright, this is an excellent outcome. This is better than I would have hoped for, actually. Above average outcome, in my opinion. Let's do Sultai one. Yeah, I have all the white mana I need, so... Alright. Surely there's more than that, right? No? Wow. Do we think there's heroic intervention? I don't really know what to think. I guess I'll... There's no reason to hold this? just play it. And play the Talisman? Maybe I just keep the Talisman to discard to Sanctum. Maybe just right there. I don't think I need the Talisman. I really only need to cast my commander one more time. Either shrine it hits is valid to do the thing. Alright. They killed my commander, so I'll just replay it. My hand is hilarious. If my opponent could see my hand, they might concede, depending on what else they can do to try to stop me. Okay, of the two I could have hit, I think I hit the... I think I hit the better one? Kind of? Sort of? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter which one I hit. I draw slightly less with this one over the course of the game, but still. Tolly? What's gonna... What are we doing? Tolly? Like... Credit equipment? Okay. Oh, that's not a Tolly. Remember equipment you control enters, make it 2/2. How many turns have like sure. Apparently there's no equipment in play in hand. I will block this because why wouldn't I? Combat trick? Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah. There could still be heroic intervention, so that is a problem. That is a problem. I don't like that problem. I don't have a solution to that problem. Okay, I didn't draw a solution to that problem either. Okay, I drew a solution. Let's get rid of one of these. I don't need all of them. And then I'm going to go the hyper-conservative route with my stuff and see if this works. This will absolutely force out something like heroic intervention. Oh, please have it. Please have it. Okay, they don't have it. Let's exile... I can Toxic Deluge, right? With the colorless mana? Oh, that's gross. And, oh, I can also cast this too. Oh my goodness. Boop. And then do it for 3. Doot, doot, doot. Play around nothing. Alright. Wasn't heroic intervention, but I played in a way that I don't lose to it. If they had it. That do? Yeah, that Delighted Halfling thing, a little weird, but I have had an exceedingly amazing time of just not worrying about Cavernous Souls or Delighted Halfling or anything. I have seen a highly disproportionate amount of this today, playing this deck, but I've beaten it every time it's been in play. So if ever I was going to see it all day, I suppose it's this time. How many counterspells am I running? So I have like 10 counterspells. Some of them are a bit questionable. You know what? After having played a bunch, I really just don't like Spell Snare. I don't know. I mean, I tried it. I don't like it. I don't like it. But I would say I kind of do like Mana Tithe, actually. Kind of like Mana Tithe. I didn't actually struggle with getting white mana early at all. And that Mana Tithe is really gross when it does the thing, so... Yeah, alright. Let's talk about it. You dislike a card I never drew? I'm thinking about the scenarios in which it would have done something. I'm not thinking about, oh, I never drew it, therefore it's not good. Every game I played, how many times would it have actually mattered? I'm going to say not really a lot. But I just thought I would give it a shot. But again, I don't, there are so many better things to do currently. Anyways, so I lost one game with this deck, and it was against, what was it against? It was against VV, who decided to play like blue-red control and have access to blue-red control things that didn't involve VV as a hand. So I lost to it, like Snapcaster tempo nonsense. I just lost, but VV never showed up. But they just didn't have to play it. But everything else, I won. I just won every other game. I don't need Hei Bai fast. I think I would say that this is better than the first sliver when it comes to high value, ridiculous pile of powerful cards that don't necessarily synergize too well. I think the random card that the first sliver hits is not as good as the card draw shrines. I think the card draw shrines, I would almost say this is probably the best way to play Hei Bai, which is unfortunate, but I think that is the case. Again, this is ironic because a lot of people in my comment section say they're like, "Oh, I'm so sick of the shrines. They play all the shrines and I get blown away." It's like, well, yeah, but they could be playing this, and then like that just goes to show how a lot of the shrines are just not super impactful unless you like get them in a certain order, or you get the same 3 all the time that are really good with each other or something like that, right? In a context of I have like 50 in my deck, but all the ones I'm playing are good with each other. You don't necessarily need Sanctum, but I feel like you should just play it anyways. Because when you have it first and you get the other ones, they draw more, and you don't need to cast this a second time. It just finds them for you. And if they blow it up, well, you can just cast Hei Bai and get the ones you actually care about. So getting this first is just fine, even when it gets the card draw ones. Just it goes to show how insane this card is, how few shrines I can play with it, and it's still like probably the best shrine in this deck. So that's just so gross. But the counter argument is, well, don't play this card. Play something else in your deck. Replace this card with something else, like a counter spell, or a removal spell, or another board wipe, or a planeswalker, or the One Ring, right? You don't have to actually play this card. And that's reasonable. But I felt like it was fine, right? Even if I had nothing to do with it really fast, it still just draws you more because it still counts as a shrine. So you draw more with these. I think it's just fine. But I wouldn't say I needed it. If I have the other 2 in play, that's more than enough cards a turn that you're basically doing what Katara wants to do, but just better, right? Well, it isn't better because Katara gets to that point way more efficiently than you do. But once you get to that point, your pound for pound cards are way more scary than your opponents. So that is nice. We talked about Spell Snare a lot, so I guess I should just put it here. I don't think Spell Snare is something you should play. I ended up taking it out. I never really drew it, but there's a lot of scenarios where if I did draw it, I don't think it would have done that much, really. I mean, it would have hit something, I guess, but especially in a 5-color deck, there are so many different options. I wasn't even running, Witness Protection, or what was the other one? Unable to Scream. Even the flashing one is okay, I suppose. We have sweepers, so they don't really have a lot of value, in my opinion. I don't feel like I need to run those kinds of things. Also, you could say a lot of things that I would counter are probably on the creature department, and a lot of creatures just get hosed by the rest of my deck anyways, but that doesn't stop me from countering a creature. I'm still probably going to counter a creature at a crucial time. When you draw so many cards like this, I could probably shave a couple board wipes or just a couple of everything and just put something else in here. I don't think that this is the ultimate pile for Hei Bai, but man, was it crazy. I had kind of the widest range of wins. I won super early with, dark ritual degen nonsense, a fast counter spell. They were like a force spike on a rampant growth, a beat them to death because they don't concede with a 4/4 until they die. Take a bunch of extra like anything that could happen happened effectively with the cards in this deck. I don't really know if I need the mana here, and if this is not necessary, this wall of nonsense here, then this deck can only get scarier because you just take this out and add more removal, more counter spells, more anything except card draw. I don't really know if I want card draw in a deck where all of it is inside of the commander that just lets you play better things instead of divination effects effectively. You can make exceptions to that, like chart the stars is just always good. Stuff like that is fine. But for the most part, if you can just get away with not playing these, you probably can. And I think you can. If there's ever an excuse to play Hei Bai again, I'm going to take it. So there's probably a way to do this without all the mana rocks. I did fairly well every time. I mean, again, I only lost a single game of the piles of. I got to 15 wins, didn't I? Well, to be fair, some of those, I think 3 of them were like from the Rofellos Pauper thing I tried. But yeah, I'm not actually sure how many games I didn't need the 2 mana ramp spell. I don't know how many games. I don't even think I had the 2 mana ramp spell in the game I lost. I don't know if it would have helped me. Hard to tell because there'd be a different card in the game and some other card would have to have been that talisman. So it wouldn't have been part of the game. So I don't really know. I will say in that VV matchup, I did have a really not great hand. Honestly, it could have been better. It was like both Jaces and Expropriate, which wasn't castable, and no mana rocks at all. So like it wasn't a really good showing there. But yeah, so there's probably a way to not run all of this. Probably is. I don't know what that looks like. It's definitely slightly slower, but that's okay. It doesn't feel like I need Hei Bai on turn 3. When you do play Hei Bai, it has the added benefit of simply just sitting there as a 4/4. So that can be a serious problem for some decks. Not a lot of them, but some, especially with the mindset of, well, if I kill Hei Bai, they can just recast it and get another shrine, and I don't want them to. So I kind of want to like deal with it in a different way. And if they ever commit something like a witness protection, you're like, okay, that's fine. You block it at the first opportunity and then either cast it again or blow it up yourself with a wrath or something. So Hei Bai not being the thing that's winning the game, but finds the thing that wins the game is massive. That's just huge. Especially when it can continuously do it and your opponent doesn't really want you to do that. So it's exceptionally annoying in that regard. And that goes with all the shrine stuff in general because of that. Like, right, it feels annoying that when you kill your opponent's commander, all you did was help them, right? So I can see why Hei Bai gets frustrating to play against when you can't really deal with it as efficiently as you'd like to. It's kind of like trying to deal with Zakama, and they can just untap all their lands and cast it again when you killed it. It was like, can't really do anything. So that is really nice. What else? Yeah, I didn't need Paradox Engine One Ring. Probably not the best idea. It doesn't seem like I have a combo pivot to win. Right? There's a lot of decks that I play that there's a way to win, and I'm not super invested in Aether Flux Reservoir, but this does actually look like a kind of deck that would probably want to play that if you did do the One Ring engine. But you could make the argument you go Mizzix's Mastery instead with so many Planeswalkers. And with all the extra turns, Mizzix's Mastery can just ultimate a Planeswalker really fast, and then they're going to die, right? Just ultimate the Jace, they lose everything. Ultimate this, they can't. The first spell is countered. You exile all their stuff. Sarkhan just sits there and looks at them. But there's probably a way to actually just win with Mizzix Mastery instead of Aether Flex Reservoir, and that is way better in every other context, because you can Mizzix Mastery all the stuff you cast up to that point. It would be super red in a deck that doesn't really have any red in it. Actually, it doesn't even have a mountain, so I would probably have to accommodate the red sources more, but that's pretty reasonable. That's pretty reasonable, I'd say. That's definitely a doable thing. Could just simply take out the other red card and add Mizzix Mastery. I never really got color screwed, right? Green decks inherently don't get color screwed, I feel, but this wasn't super heavy into green, honestly. It really wasn't. I would say maybe the fetch land Triome thing was, a testament of color fixing more than just simply being green, at least at this time. Yeah, so if you like the 5-color mythic rare pile nonsense, this probably is the best way to go right now. I feel like it is. I mean, you could play Golos and stuff, Kenrith, I guess, and I think they're higher bracketed or whatever, but this felt just better than the first sliver ever did. It really did. There's a lot of times the first sliver hits like a sweeper that doesn't do anything. The first sliver can't play counter spells because it would just counter its own sliver and be dumb. If it was Discover 5 and not Cascade, you could put the counter to your hand, I suppose, but you can't do that. So this does feel like the first sliver's wet dream, kind of, especially when it's deterministic. Like, you're always getting this. You're not getting like a dead Kulagon's Command or a Force Spike or a sweeper when you don't want one. Or I don't know, anything. Or just like a mana ramp spell that feels kind of awkward. And that happens with the first sliver all the time. It just hits something that you really don't want to play. You can't even play Toxic Deluge because, as I'm pretty sure, you can't pay any life. You just cast it. I think, as an additional cost to cast this. Okay, no, maybe not. I think you can cascade it into Toxic Deluge. Yeah, because you have to pay life as an additional cost, even if you cast it without paying its mana cost or whatever. You should still have to pay life. It's like when you cast Haro for free, not off of Omniscience, but like off of Cascade. You have to sack a land still because it's an additional cost. It's just part of the cost of casting it. So I'm pretty sure you can't actually do that. I didn't struggle with casting Archmage's Charm, I'll say. I don't know if Ujin is necessary. I don't know, but you could make that argument about a few of these cards in here, like, Sarkhan. But it just goes to show how powerful the $20 per card mythic rare pile is, and especially when it has a commander that actually complements it, which, to be honest, I don't feel like I've seen too many of those. There's always been this 5-color thing, but it seems like this is a step above a lot of them, especially given how it's not in like Hellq or anything. It seems like I saw an Abigail player. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I was very surprised. It seems like we're playing a completely different format. I saw another commander too. I'm just looking at him like, man, the first sweeper might just totally annihilate you. And yeah, and it did. So if you have ideas to make this better, let me know. No one person knows all things. We have to settle the spell snare. I hope I wasn't. I might have been saying that. I hope I wasn't saying spell pierce the whole time. I did mean spell snare, if anyone was curious that whole time. If you have an opinion about this card, add it to the pile. But I currently think there are just a ton of better options right now. But again, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's not like in the first 99 of my ideas here. All right, get out of here. GG's.